So imagine, you just won the lottery, but instead of taking this giant check and running, you look at the lottery official and say, keep the money. I just really want to hang out with you.
Right. Which sounds completely ridiculous.
Yeah, totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we're looking at a fascinating philosophical text today from 1971 that argues this exact tension actually defines our entire lives.
Yeah, it really does. And welcome to today's deep dive, by the way. We are looking at a framework that challenges our basic motivations and kind of forces us to examine the mechanics of our own egos.
Exactly. And the whole mission today is to help you, the listener, figure out if you're spending your life chasing the gifts or if you're actually looking for the giver.
Right, the giver with a capital G. And the author illustrates this tension with this really brilliant parable about a powerful king visiting a city.
Okay, so a royal visit.
Right. And he brings his whole entourage with him. So we're talking dukes, generals, local governors, the works. Naturally, the townspeople flock to the dukes to beg for favors, and they totally ignore the king. Yeah, but there's one wise man who chooses to connect directly with the monarch, reasoning that, well, dukes change, but the king remains.
I love that. So it's like schmoozing a mid-level manager for an extra vacation day instead of aligning yourself with the CEO's long-term vision.
That is a perfect analogy.
Because, the manager might get fired tomorrow, right? But the CEO is building the actual foundation.
Exactly. And the psychology behind that choice is what makes this text so relevant for us today. The author uses this dynamic to explain the historical root of idolatry, actually.
Idolatry?
Yeah, like ancient people worshiping intermediaries. So think the sun or the moon. The text says this wasn't just primitive ignorance.
Okay, what was it then?
It was actually a highly sophisticated defense mechanism to protect their egos.
Wait, hold on. I need to understand that. How does worshiping the sun protect your insecurities?
Well, think about what happens when you get your bounty, your rain or your crops from an intermediary.
Oh, it feels transactional.
Right. It's highly transactional. You perform a ritual, you get a physical gift, and you get to remain the center of your own universe.
Ah, I see.
But going straight to the ultimate creator requires something the text calls self-nullification.
Which basically means stripping away your own sense of self-importance.
Exactly. It means admitting you aren't the main character. Going to the dukes allows you to get the perks without doing the really hard, uncomfortable work of submitting to a higher authority.
So, if avoiding the ultimate authority is really just us dodging that uncomfortable feeling of being small, how does the text suggest we actually evolve past that?
Well, it categorizes our motivations into 4 tiers. And what you're really watching as you move up these tiers is the slow shrinking of the human ego.
Okay, so what's at the absolute bottom?
At the bottom, you have what they call dogs. These are people driven purely by physical appetite. They just want the scraps.
Okay, pretty primal.
Very. And then right above them are lowly servants whose ego is slightly checked by fear of punishment.
So they aren't acting out of loyalty at all, just self-preservation.
Spot on. Then you move up to the 3rd tier, which is important servants. They act out of a sense of duty and willing submission.
Got it.
And finally, at the very top, you have the ministers. They serve out of a profound understanding and love for the king, and they need absolutely nothing in return.
Okay, I have to push back on that top tier, though.
Oh, really? How come?
Yeah, because even those high-ranking ministers sitting at the king's table, they're still eating the king's food, right? They were enjoying the luxurious perks of the palace.
That is a very fair point.
Right. Isn't there a level where someone wants absolutely nothing in return? Because even love feels transactional if you're getting, VIP treatment on the side.
The text anticipates that exact critique. It answers your question by introducing the absolute climax of this philosophy.
Oh, kid me.
It features a famous quote from a prominent 18th century mystic known as the Alter Rebbe. He actually founded this specific school of thought. And he reportedly said to the creator, I want nothing at all. I don't want your Garden of Eden. I don't want your world to come. I want only you alone.
Wow. So basically saying, I don't even want your heaven.
Yes. It is the ultimate rejection of the gifts. True wisdom, according to this framework, means rejecting even the highest, most ultimate spiritual rewards if they become a distraction.
Because if you're focusing on heaven, your ego is still involved.
Exactly.
They're still totally focused on what you get out of the deal.
Precisely. If there's a reward, the ego is still being fed.
Which brings us to the obvious question, does this mean we're supposed to reject the physical world entirely? Like just abandon our goals and go live in a cave?
No, definitely not. The goal isn't to reject the physical world, but to change the mechanism of how we interact with it.
Okay, how so?
Well, when you are connected to the essence, the giver, you still experience physical abundance. But instead of using it to inflate your ego, it becomes a tool.
A tool for what?
You use the physical solely to create a deeper spiritual reality around you.
So you stop asking, what can I extract from this? And you start asking, how can I align with this?
Exactly. It forces us to really look at the easy, ego-driven payoffs we accept every single day.
Right, and to question whether those payoffs are actually serving us or just keeping us, artificially comfortable.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
So as you go about your day, consider this. If you actually achieve that ultimate gift you're striving for right now, the promotion, the house, the status, would it fundamentally satisfy you?
It's a tough question to sit with.
It really is.
Uh,
Or is it possible that the lingering frustration of never having quite enough is actually your mind's way of telling you that you've been negotiating with the dukes when you should have been searching for the king?